There is a World War I general who never lost a single battle, and he didn't surrender until 2 weeks after the war was already over. That's not even the strangest thing that happened in this war. Here are 7 hidden facts about World War I that almost nobody knows. And number 1 is an entire army that accidentally conquered Siberia. Forget the trenches for a minute. The stuff you were taught is the tiny, famous corner of this war. The real story stretches from the mountains of Italy to the coast of China to the middle of Africa. And it gets weird. These aren't the facts in every WW1 Facts video, counting down from 7. Number 7, an army was defeated by bees. November 1914, East Africa. A British invasion force of around 8,000 men lands to seize a German colony. As the shooting starts, the noise enrages massive swarms of wild African bees living in hives all through the bush. The bees pour down on the soldiers. Men drop their rifles. Some sprint into the ocean to escape the stings. One entire unit just falls apart. Many were convinced the Germans had somehow released the bees as a weapon. They hadn't. A German force 1/8 the size won the day. History remembers it as the Battle of the Bees. Number 6. The deadliest enemy on the Italian front wasn't a soldier, it was the mountain. Up in the Alps, both armies dug into peaks above 10,000 feet, and the real killer was snow. On one day, in December 1916, a day so catastrophic it's remembered as White Friday, a wave of avalanches swept down onto the trenches and barracks. Thousands of men were buried alive in hours. And here's the chilling part. Some accounts say both sides had learned to fire shells into the snowpack above the enemy, deliberately triggering avalanches to bury them. The exact death toll is still argued over. But that winter, the mountain killed more men than the fighting did. Number 5. In 1918, humans put the first object into the stratosphere. Not with a rocket, with a cannon. The Germans built a monster gun that could shell Paris from 75 miles away. To reach that far, the shell was flung so high it arched about 26 miles up into the stratosphere. Those artillery shells were the first man-made objects to ever reach that layer of the sky, decades before spaceflight. The gun was so powerful and the range so extreme that the crews had to actually account for the rotation of the Earth while aiming, because in the 2+ minutes the shell was in flight, the planet itself had turned underneath it, a weapon that was basically doing rocket science in 1918. And the next one is even harder to believe. Number 4. The first aircraft carrier strike in history happened in China. We think of carriers as a World War II thing. But in September 1914, a Japanese ship called the Wakamiya lowered seaplanes into the water off the coast of China and launched the world's first air raids ever flown from a ship. Yes, China. Because Germany had a colony there at Qingdao, and Japan and Britain sailed in to take it. Half a world from the trenches, the entire future of naval warfare, every aircraft carrier that would ever exist was quietly born. And the next one is even harder to believe. Number 3, Germany tried to resupply Africa with a giant airship. By 1917, a German army was trapped and cut off in East Africa, running out of everything. So Germany came up with an insane plan: load 15 tons of supplies onto a Zeppelin airship and fly it to Africa, non-stop, over enemy territory, over the Mediterranean, over the desert. The airship, L-59, actually launched. It flew for nearly 4 days and covered over 4,000 miles before it was recalled by radio, mistakenly told the African force had already fallen. It turned around and flew all the way back. It set a world distance record almost nobody has ever heard of. Number 2, the general who won by never losing. That trapped German army in Africa? Its commander was Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck, and he is arguably the most successful guerrilla commander of the entire war. With a tiny, mostly African force, he marched across thousands of miles of bush for 4 straight years, always outnumbered, sometimes by 20 to 1, and he never lost a battle. He tied down hundreds of thousands of Allied troops who could have been fighting in Europe, and he only laid down his arms on November 25, 1918, 2 full weeks after the war had already ended everywhere else, because that's when the news finally reached him in the field, undefeated to the last day. Number 1. An army of former prisoners accidentally seized Siberia. When Russia collapsed and quit the war, there were tens of thousands of Czech and Slovak soldiers stranded deep inside the country, ex-prisoners of war who'd switched sides. All they wanted was to get home to fight. The only way out was east. The Trans-Siberian Railway, the longest railroad on Earth. So, they boarded the trains. Then fighting broke out with the new Bolshevik government, and these stranded men, with nowhere to go, simply took the railway. City by city, they seized control of nearly all of Siberia, a stretch of land from the Volga River to the Pacific Ocean. And somewhere in the chaos, they got their hands on a piece of the Russian Empire's gold reserve, loaded onto train cars and guarded by an army that, technically, was just trying to catch a ride home. An accidental empire built on a railway in the middle of the largest country on Earth. So, the war you were taught, trenches, mud, Western Front, was maybe a tenth of the real story. This was a war of bees and avalanches, of shells in the stratosphere, of carriers off China and airships bound for Africa, of one undefeated general and one accidental empire in Siberia. Global in every direction, and almost none of it makes the textbooks. If Lettow-Vorbeck's 4-year march got you, wait to watch our video on the 7 hidden facts about World War II, the war within the war. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Stay curious.